Hi guys, welcome to another episode of InvoTalks. This is Fatima Suhail, and today we have awesome Lucas Kressel with us. He is CEO of Hedepay. Hedepay simplifies the path to psychotherapy via technology. Hi Lucas, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you very much for, invitation to your podcast.
It's an absolute honor. When I heard about Hedepay, I was like so excited because right now I think the mental health is not something that is taken that much seriously that it should be.
That's totally right, but I think it's changing a lot, especially in the regions where we are. It's emerging, so I think that with help of Hedepay, we can really change this stigma.
Yeah, I hope that because uh, since technology has jumped into this niche, the things are changing, the things are transforming, people are becoming more aware of it.
Definitely, it's changing in terms of communication because people are more open to talk about their mental health care issues, and it's changing as well in accessibility and affordability for mass market. So I think like we are on the edge of the biggest mental health care revolution after 90 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree with you. So before I start questioning and everything, I want to know about you. How did you came to know that mental health is something that I want to do, and especially with technology? How did you know that?
Well, it's a long story. We don't have so much time for it, but long story short, last 10 years, I was building startups and big brand campaigns for different brands around Europe because with my guys, we co-founded three marketing agencies in Central Europe. And usually like big corporates hire us to create special startup or special niche for them to grow there. But when COVID came to our country, I was CEO of like these three agencies, and the business simply stopped from the day to day. The big media spenders didn't give us so much work, and I was thinking what we have to do with the agencies. And I I really see myself like being in this room with this computer, and I had to fire almost 50% of the people from the company. And back in the times, we have 100 employees, so it was actually really hard, and I had to do it online like this. And from my mental state, it wasn't really good. I need to find some psychological support, and it wasn't really feasible. I didn't find right fit, and I see, wow, this is how is this possible in 21st century that it's really hard to find great psychiatrist or psychotherapist. And I say, wow, we understand technology, we understand communication, we can actually fill this gap and help same people like me to find great fit with psychotherapist.
That's uh, it, opportunity came. I guess that from dark times, the opportunity came to the idea came to you.
Yeah, definitely, and the crisis always create huge opportunities. So that's how we started, and I think COVID really accelerated all of revolution in mental health care space in Europe.
I agree. I agree with that. So, is it the same story behind Hedepay too? You thought of starting it at that time, I believe, like you mentioned.
Yeah, that was exactly the story. We started Hedepay when I felt that I'm down and I need to find some psychological support. We create like a really good team of strategists to try to search if it's just our subjective problem or if more people suffering. And what we discovered that in Europe nowadays, more than half of the population suffering from some mental issue, and 80% of them, they don't know where to look or who should help them. They don't understand the difference between psychologist, psychotherapist, psychiatrist, clinical psychologist. I didn't understand this as well. It's like really, it's a chaos. So that's why we created, yeah.
Yeah. So when I was visiting the page of Hedepay, the question which immediately popped up in my mind when I saw all psychotherapists and the team. Do you have a specific criteria of selecting the psychotherapist? Is it the technology involved there? And would you like to elaborate on that?
Well, yeah, totally. Like right now, we have around 500 certificated psychotherapists in our team, and more than thousands or 2,000 are waiting on the waiting list. And we have really like a sharp criteria because, as I said, in this market, it's a huge chaos. Who is therapist, who is not, and so on. And sometimes, if you expand to the new country, they don't have regulated criteria for psychotherapist. So for us, we try to take the criteria from European Psychotherapy Committee, where we accept only 4 years or 8 years psychotherapist training, which is covered by this committee. We also ask the people about the ID notification. We want to see the review from the supervisor of these guys from the training. We want to see reviews from their current, let's say, clients, if it's possible. And then if we agree that we will cooperate, we jump to the boot camp. We have 7 weeks boot camp for these guys to really try to help them how to do online psychotherapy, because it's kind of different than if you do face-to-face psychotherapy. We try to help them to understand the data, which we are able to provide them about the customers, about the retention, about satisfaction of the customers, and so on. And we try to train them how to promote themselves, because nowadays it's really important, to explain people what kind of services psychotherapists can offer them and what kind of issues we are able to solve. And after that, we track their progress, if the customers are satisfied of or not, and we have some like trials. So to answer your question, it's actually an ongoing process based on data and lots of like good relationship between us and psychotherapists as a partners who help us to like innovate this field together.
Oh, okay. So it is like there is a big, I would say, a big data from which you derive results, or there is data that you find from clients, and like just you said.
Well, we now are able to gather lots of data because the clients usually answers questionnaires after each session, questionnaires about satisfaction with the therapist and the therapy, which could be really subjective. And sometimes if the client is not satisfied, it doesn't mean exactly that the psychotherapist is not good, because sometimes clients, fight with their soul. But of course, we are asking like a structured questionnaire based on like healthcare data, if they like feel better, and we try to track this progress and give the feedback back to the psychotherapist. So yeah, we try to gather lots of data. Even really important data are about like fitting the right psychotherapist with the right client, because this is actually one of the biggest topic in mental health care, how to find the right psychotherapist which is like suitable for me. I really believe I can be open to this person. And yeah, our algorithms are learning because we have tens thousands of clients nowadays, so we can see what is the good fit and what is not, and try to kind of predict it to the future.
Hmm, that's interesting. Carry on this conversation forward. I have seen many startups, they have like AI technology, ML technology. Do you use these kind of technologies? Basically, I want to know how to connect the client with the correct psychotherapist.
Well, I would not call it AI nowadays. It's just an algorithm, but fancy word for this could be AI, definitely. Yeah, but in our case nowadays, and I have to say we are like 2 years on the market, so the startup is really young, and we were more focused on real like fast connection, because now you can get therapists in 5 minutes in our platform. So that was actually the first priority. But in the fitting the right therapist and the person, we use data based on their choices, based on the choices of the client and psychotherapist as well. And then we see like in the future the retention of the clients who work with different segments of the psychotherapist. And based on this, we see like the feedback, and we can improve the algorithm. AI, like generally in mental space, it's a huge topic, it's a huge trend nowadays. I think all of us see last days, you know, the huge AI chat which was launched six days ago, where you can write actually all of the questions, and it could create songs, it could create structure of new book actually. So definitely we are heading to there. But this year I conduct a huge roadshow to the whole world on mental health care conferences. And in my perspective, I haven't seen any useful AI which could be, you know, adapt to the market right now for like mass public perspective. But it's definitely coming, and it will be soon there. And I see huge advantage of this, because if we have this, that you can talk with AI about your problem, it will be really affordable for everybody. And that's a big problem of mental health care nowadays, that one session with psychotherapist is actually really expensive. And if you are not able to cover it by employee or insurance company, we are able to target like 20% of the market, and the 80% of the market we need to help them with software as a service services.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, correct me if I'm wrong. I understand there is an algorithm, and on the basis of that algorithm, you connect the client with the psychotherapist.
Declined? How do you mean declined? Psychotherapist?
No, no, I mean connect the client with the
Yeah,
psychotherapist.
the client, of course. Like, if I give you like a really quick introduction of Hedepay, we have around 500 psychotherapists online. You can scroll and see their profiles, the reviews, the video actually, so you can see the therapist even before you go to the room to chat with him or her. And if you are, you know, with some crisis and you don't want to decide based on their profiles, you can always do the pairing algorithm, which offers you and recommend you three best suitable therapists to you in 3 minutes. That's really like useful, because some people don't want to, you know, scroll. They don't understand how to choose the right psychotherapist. And of course, we have other services in Hedepay. In the future, we will do self-help kit, where based on the diagnosis, we can tell you, hey, you have problem with anxiety or stress or relationship. So we recommend you this exercise, this psychotherapist, and this supporting group, and it will be like a personalized package to your mental health care.
Oh, that's interesting. Because that was what I was thinking, that if I come to your platform and I don't want to be open about my problems, at the same time I want therapist and I can't decide what is the next step. So you have guided me well. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
we exactly. I think you describe it better than me. So thank you for this. We are usually the guiders or the guides who help you to understand mental health care space, give you the right choices for you or options, and you just pick what you feel it's right now for you, most suitable thing.
Ah, okay. So, for this algorithm you have developed, which is quite fast, like connecting people in 3 minutes. I want to know, did you had a team behind? There was a remote team that you connected with to make it. Uh, what was the process?
Well, we start to work with scientists from Masaryk University. That's one of the best university in our region. And these guys are focused on online psychotherapy for almost 10 years. It's kind of miracle, because psychotherapy online, like 10 years ago, nobody knows about this space. And even the technology wasn't, you know, so far to do this. So these guys understand it a lot. At the beginning of our journey with Hedepay, they try to give us advice how to do it, and give us like structured questionnaires based on lots of data from the world online psychotherapy. So they really help us to understand how to do it in the right way. And yeah, based on it, we start to work with our own data and improve it.
That's interesting to know. So you had a data and then you had a team to make that algorithm, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like now we have around 40 people. 15 others are coming actually to our team, because we are expanding to 5 other countries. Nowadays, Hedepay is 8 countries. We are expanding to 5 more. And yeah, our development team is around 5 people nowadays. So they are focused, like this algorithm is not really like the only most important thing in Hedepay. We are now really focused on well-being part for B2B, because a lot of companies want to help their employees to feel better, or really focus on prevention to understand what's happening in their soul and how to make it better in the long-term relationship. We create packages for insurance companies. We try to help psychiatrists as well, not only psychotherapy, to being online. So actually nowadays Hedepay is like a complex well-being service, and development team has more focuses right now.
That's interesting to know. Uh, from this, I want to jump on the investment part. Most of this
Okay.
I come across uh, from climate and especially from mental health tech sector. They're like that there is less investment somehow or not preferred by investors. What would you say about that in case of mental health tech? And especially one
Well,
more thing, sorry to interrupt you. Was reading your interview. There was, I believe you were saying that uh, since after Ukraine, since I guess West Europe is more preferred in kind of investment than the currently region in which you are placed in. So, what would you say about that?
well, investment climate changed a lot last year. That's what I have to say. We already fundraised 2 million euros, so that was our seed investment, and now we are raising 5 million euros in Series A. So I really spent last 4 months talking with investors, gathering feedback, and negotiating term sheet. So what I can say right now is that like hunger for fast growing company is definitely here in Europe and in US, and even in East, like from Southeast Asia as well. Mental health care space is one of the fastest growing field in the world nowadays. Especially in the regions where we are, because if you look to US, it's stagnating kind of, because the market is mature and it's 10 years ahead of us. But in Europe, especially north, south, east, and central, we are growing like we've had a 600% year over year. So the appetite of investors is really huge. The question is, who is the right investor nowadays? Like we are talking with people from marketplace, venture capital, from health tech, venture capital, and even from just finance investors. And I see that they invest a lot to mental health care space. Even I predict that the European space will be consolidated really soon, because there were many startups in mental health care space last 2 years, and many of them are not able to fundraise seed investment right now because the market seems to be more crowded in some countries, and that's why the consolidation is coming.
Hmm. That's good to know that mental health startups are kind of progressing and a huge amount of capital is coming in, because I think that world is in need of right now, because after COVID and war that has been going on uh, in Europe, it's kind of necessary to have an outlet. And that's kind of interesting to know what you guys are doing, making making mental health more accessible and affordable.
Definitely, Ukraine and Ukraine language is one of the fastest growing country in our platform, and we see that is helping because it's online and you can really cover easily villages or cities or even the refugees around the whole Europe nowadays, and it's really helping, listening their mother tongue, talking with psychotherapists who are local for them. So yeah, for this kind of conflicts, for this kind of let's say society where we are right now, it's really suitable service.
Hmm, that's good to know. So, keeping this discussion, do you think that mental health tech startups have improved in terms of investment, have improved in terms of technology? But uh, what do you think where the industry is still lagging? Because you are the person who is still right now in the industry. And where do you think the industry is right now should be, or there is one thing that should be in this industry but is not present, is missing, but is necessary?
Well, in mental health care in general, it's a huge problem of professionals that we are missing in some countries, professionals like psychiatrists, definitely. Like we need like triple or five time multiple of them. So we, as a software, as a startups, we try to do SaaS services for the people to try to do it for mass market, but still we need more professionals to help us to help more people. So this segment was really underfinanced last decades because people really didn't talk about it because it was kind of stigma. Nobody want to say, I feel bad and I don't know what to do in my life. And that's just an easy problem, to be honest. That's like in our scale, this is the easiest thing which people solve with Hedepay. Like we have suicides, we have people who have oncological problems. We have like these are like big issues, much bigger. So that's the problem, that we need more professionals to come to help and do online with customers. That's the first thing. Second thing is like huge chaos in information. And this technology can change a lot because people are not educated what psychotherapy, what mental health care means. Everybody knows how to go to gym. Everybody works on his body to look better, to feel more healthy. But if you talk about psychological hygiene, that's something which we know from let's say church or from our family, but it's not really educated in general. So we have to work on this a lot in terms of communication. And what we see right now, we do like huge campaigns with influencers who do coming outs, or big stars in like every country where we are, saying, sometimes I don't feel as well great, as well really good. I'm a person, I have feelings, and sometimes I have bad days. It's not only what I have in Instagram or Facebook. So this changed society a lot because people are more open to say, I feel bad as well. That's normal. That's natural. So it's about technology, definitely. But as a society, we have to do a lot as well on the other side of the stigma and communication about this topic.
I agree with that. We all have bad days. We all have good days. And kind of, I won't blame social media for it, but kind of it is responsible for, making an imaginary world where everything and every person is okay every day.
Yeah, and in social media, you see like people don't speak about really like hard things or bad things. People more speak about, I'm enjoying my day in Bali, or I buy a new car. So that creates feeling that everybody is happy around, and people try to chase this dream of being happy. But the thing is that being happy, it's about something different, and that's what we try with Hedepay do. Try to naturalize and make normal that people can feel bad and good, and that's okay.
Hmm. I read it somewhere that we are all sad to be happy. That we are
Yeah,
always struggling to be happy, and in that struggle, we just become more sad.
I totally agree.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing that kind of hit me when I was listening to you. You have great insights about mental health and everything. I want to know that Hedepay is progressing. Like you said, you guys are in 8 countries right now, and you guys are progressing.
Mhm.
I believe you guys are in Slovakia, Poland, Romania, and Italy, Ukraine also. I want to know. Uh, you guys are expanding more, but are you guys thinking towards addition of any new features or something else to remain compliant with the industry as well as remain competitive, I must say?
Mm. Like the huge innovation right now will be psychiatry online, because so far you can work only with psychotherapy, and many psychotherapists find clients or patients who are on the edge. They should be sent to psychiatrists. But now in Europe, they are not able to do it because psychiatrists are fully booked, like 8 months ahead, you know? So we are digitalizing psychiatry right now. It's a huge challenge because this segment is really regulated. It's like real doctors prescribing medicine. And of course, there are like many things we have to avoid because it's not for everybody. Online, it's not always suitable for this. But as soon as we will launch it, it will change a lot. The second thing is personalization of the treatment, because uh, you you need the treatment like right now. Many people don't want to wait. We live in like instant society, in instant culture, so they used to do everything like from the scratch. And we are able in the future to do great diagnosis for you, really understand what's happening in your soul, and offer you right treatment plan online.
Hmm.
And it consists of psychotherapist, sometimes psychiatry, sometimes supporting group, sometimes like online exercises, reading about your trouble, reading about anonymous stories of people who went through same issue like you, and give you like really personalized plan for your issues. So everything now in Hedepay will be a lot about personalization and doing right treatment fast to make you feel better really, really soon. So this is where we are heading with the product, and many of these features will be launched next month.
That's interesting. Um, for shifting our discussion a little bit, uh, for the startups who, as our theme is about startups, for the startups who want to jump into the mental health tech space, uh, as you are
Mhm.
already there, I want to know, should they develop MVP first? Should they go for investors?
Mhm.
What should be the first step? What step did you take?
Well, my advice here is like go to the investors as late as possible, because as late as possible you are there, better valuation you will have. That's definitely true. What I learned with our angels, and I really recommend, first of all, do you own validation? Like what we done at the first thing, we conducted a lots of in-depth interview with clients, with potential psychotherapists on our platform to really understand if we found the right problem. Because if there is no right problem, nobody want to pay for this. And then we really quickly launch MVP. And MVP in our story, it wasn't something really like sophisticated. It was really like we connect Google Meet, reservation system, like based on WordPress or something like that. And we launch it in 2 days. And it was ugly. It was a lot of administration on our side. But we start to have data. We start to understand the conversion ratio. We start to understand cost of acquisition. We start to understand lifetime value. We start to understand the price sensitivity and all of these stuff. And it really helped us to create really predictable business case. It helped us to give investors the data which they can trust. So yeah, I really believe that validation is like crucial to really understand if you should do this kind of execution or totally pivot your idea to something which is more suitable for needs of the customers.
Hmm. So, from what I got from your answer is that go to the investors, develop, have a data, and develop an MVP.
Well, from my perspective, validate it with your target group, create MVP, try to bootstrap it as much as possible, and it will increase your valuation for the first investors, because usually the biggest mistakes of startups, what I see, and I think it was one of the biggest mistake of us as well, is the valuation of the first investment, because they take you a lot of part of the company. And it's hard to evaluate it because you don't have data. It's like more about negotiation and willingness of you to give them some part of the company and them give you some part of their money.
Mm.
So I would postpone this as much as possible because it really helps you to be strong in other series rounds like Series C or Series A and so on. Because if you cut big cut of your company at the beginning, it's really hard to do seed or Series A investment.
Mm. I agree with that. So I want to know. I actually this questions comes a lot to us circling around. What are the three top technologies in the mental health tech startup landscape which are going to revolutionize it? What are the three technologies you would say that they are really going to change this whole landscape?
Wow, that's a really good question. I'm not like the best technological guy in our company, to be honest. I'm more like a strategy and leadership finance guy in our society. But from my perspective, definitely AI will change like everything in mental health care. But the real AI, not bullshit presentation AI looking great that we changed the world, but when you can really, and it will be here in a couple of years or maybe months. What I saw last 6 days, it's really changed my mind. And this would create access for everybody in the world, maybe for free, to help to have like personal conversation with AI psychotherapist. And for many people, this is like really enough to sustain their daily issues, mental issues, to feel better. So you can increase the frequency talking with somebody. It will also increase credibility because people will feel that it's anonymous. So it will become like a normal and standard to talk about something with somebody and see like different perspective. So this will really change. And the second thing what I see, and it's not maybe like so huge technological thing, but it's a huge development, is like online where you can connect different professionals working on one case like simultaneously. That you have psychotherapist, psychiatrist, AI, they are sharing data about the patient or the client, so they are much more efficient with the treatment. Because so far, these people were really like, sitting different rooms, different cities, and they were really depend on what the clients say to them that the other professional saying that they have to do. So this like data collected even from variables from other professionals in one space in one drive, it will change the efficiency of the treatment a lot.
Hmm. I agree with that. That there's AI is going to be big, but I also see no such technology coming up, which is going to uh, turn the chapters and everything. So it is going to be a little bit of technology and most part of humans involved. That's what I assess.
Probably yes, but still, we have to do a lots of work with stigma of this segment,
Yeah,
and it's not so much about technology, it's more about communication.
yeah, I agree with that. The stigmas attached to this mental health, they are just like sometimes I think they are impossible to cater. People are like, oh, we have to say this every time someone asks, are you okay? Yeah, we are okay. We can't say we are not okay because it's kind of like stigma attached to it, that people would understand that, oh, okay, she's not mentally okay, okay, she's not capable of doing something. So it's kind of, I would agree, in short, I would agree with your stigma part.
Yeah, yeah.
So thank you so much, Lucas, for your time. I really enjoyed our discussion, and I appreciate what you guys are doing, and I wish you success, leaps and bounds.
Same here. I appreciate what you guys are doing. And once again, thank you for the invitation. It was nice chat with you.
it was an honor for us. It was a complete honor for us.
Okay, have a great day and good day to listeners.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Bye. And we would love to have you on some other episode. Is that okay?
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Of
okay.
course, my honor.
Sure. Thank you so much, Lucas.